All right. Today, let's look at how I use this tool called NotebookLM. It's an amazing tool from Google. Yeah, I have my own rant on how Google has some of these really good products, but they are so hidden or have these sorts of weird names. So there used to be Bard, there's Gemini, there's Google Vertex AI Studio, there's Google Workspace for Work, there's Gemini in Google Docs. There's Notebook LM. There's Google AI Studio, which is another thing, and so on. Yeah, basically, I'll try to make a video on picking up like the useful parts of it. But some of these are truly, truly helpful. Let me give you a few examples. So it's called notebooklm.google.com. So it's quite good, like for various types of tasks. So basically, go to NotebookLM, and once you go here, it'll ask you, okay, upload sources or choose what you want. So I'll try to give you like three use cases of how I use it. The first use case is just for me to read these very long papers. So for instance, okay, let's say there's this paper, right? Like, so this is a recent paper from a couple of days ago. So I have a lot of these papers that I have on my reading list that I have to read, but it's really hard for me to take the time to read it. Okay, there's a 56-page paper. Reading it will take a lot of time for me. So what I usually do, especially for this is a research paper, but there are other papers which are like, okay, this is, for instance, it's just a normal paper. Nothing wrong about it, but it's a philosophy paper. There's no technical aspects here, right? Like, so for instance, this paper is a very good candidate. So you can go here and you can say, okay, this is a link. I'll paste the link to the PDF here. Okay, so it'll take some time, like a few seconds, and then it will show you. So there are these three panels, right? Like one is where you can add sources. So for instance, this is one specific thing where I'm trying to read this paper. But if you have, let's say, your notes or something like that, let's say you have 15 documents that make up different chapters or something, and you want to put this here. So you can add all of these sources. You can add as many sources. I think there's like 50 sources that you can add here. So it's a lot of things that it can pull from. And this tab is where it's like your any ChatGPT kind of window here. All of this is free, by the way. So this is okay. So there's it's giving you a summary, right? Like, so it's basically there's three kinds of ethics, and then provides explores the burgeoning field of AI ethics, arguing that this growth has led to disorganized landscape and so on. Uh, okay, this is quite good. So now another thing that's extremely good is this sort of audio overview. This will take some time, but you can click this, and this creates this sort of podcast between two people who are gonna give you a gist of what this document is about. But it's really good. I mean, you should try this to be mind blown, like you're really amazed. But yeah, I mean, it'll take some time. So let's let that run. In the meantime, you can chat with it. Like, so you can say, what are the three main points being made uh, in this document. So something like this, like we've already, used ChatGPT, we have uploaded a PDF and got some insights. But here, okay, you can also do that. Like, so you can say, yeah, these are the three main points, and it says, okay, it's about ethics in AI, EIA, EAA. So yeah, I mean, this is very important, right? Is this in AI ethics and AI ethics of AI? So and it kind of the really good thing about this is it tells you, okay, this is the line where this it got pulled from. So this is from the actual PDF where this got pulled from. So you can really say, okay, yeah. So things like ethics in AI operates on the idea of ethical issues coming from design failures and can be addressed by structural aspects. So that has come from here in the PDF, right? So there's these things like that. Another recent feature that they added is this mind map, which is just really helpful for quickly getting a visualization of what concepts this paper or this document has. So things like this, right? So here, if I click on it, so it says, okay, ethics is the actual topic. And then, it gave me these three: ethics and AI, ethics in AI, and ethics of AI, and the overarching theme. So this is a what's called a mind map, like basically very quickly understanding the different concepts. So, I can explain, and click on that and tell me, okay, it talks about multidisciplinary nature of AI ethics, rapid chaotic growth, and so on. Or you can go into these detailed topics. You can tell you, I don't know why this is being, okay, so basically it also explains, discuss what these sources say about it. So you have this sort of thing, right? Where you're getting, so let me just close this. Let me close this. Yeah. So you can get this one, right? Like, so ethics in AI, you get a description here. But okay, where did that go? This, yeah. So if you go here, yeah, you can get things like these, right? So it says that for ethics in AI, these are the top ideas that are in there. And maybe I only want to look at some examples. So I will go here and I will see, okay, there are two examples. So, and here they're discussing those. Like, so the examples are in the UN, there's this pre-existing normative framework, functional characteristics. So this is a very quick way for me to read this 20-page document, and I can really dig in deeper and say, okay, ethics in AI, ethics of AI. Okay, maybe I want ethics of AI and then look at examples only here. So, okay, these are the examples. Okay, there's biased healthcare. So, I want to look at that. So I clicked on that, and as you saw here, the chat was about that. So it's about the thing in healthcare algorithm, and this is very related to what we were discussing throughout the course, right? Like, so this is an extremely good example of that. Okay, now this audio has been generated. This took like 3 minutes or 5 minutes, something like that. So this is just really, really good. Like, so let me just play and we'll see.
All right. So you know how it is these days, right? You open up your phone and suddenly it's like AI ethics everywhere.
And usually, okay, so this is some person who's actually talking. It's like a podcast style. What I do is I do 2x just to quickly listen to this. So this is 17 minutes, so I can listen to this paper and like get a sense of like whether this is a really is a good paper that I should spend time on in like 5 minutes or so. And usually the way I read, I mean, and as information professional, we should all be really reading a lot, especially about AI. So I have like 20 different things here that I'm reading about. But there are some which I really read in detail. Like, for instance, these things I've kept open because I want to read them in detail. But there are these things that I still haven't read, and so on. But this is a very quick way for me to understand. So let's look at the podcast a bit.
Yeah, totally.
News think pieces, policy reports, you name it, and like it feels almost impossible to keep up sometimes.
Definitely, it really can.
So we hear
I
you.
mean, it's really good. Like, so the way the talk is like a podcast style. Like, there's two people who are speaking and explaining. So let's skip ahead a
And that's
bit.
exactly why we're doing this deep dive today, right? We want to cut through all that noise and really get to the core of what AI ethics is all about.
Yeah, exactly, because it's such a fast-moving field, and it's really important to have like a solid foundation.
Right, exactly. So I've got this really fascinating paper. It's called Three Kinds of AI Ethics by Emanuele Ratti.
Ah, yeah, Roddy's work is super insightful.
Yeah, it is. So we're going to kind of use that as our guide for this deep dive. Our mission is to figure out like what are the fundamental decisions that could affect other people.
Right.
Okay. So within this principlism view of ethics and AI, how does something like explainability fit in? Like being able to understand why an AI made a certain decision.
Right. So in principlism, explainability isn't necessarily seen as like a brand new ethical principle that's unique to AI. Instead, it's often seen as a way to uphold those broader principles. So, for example, we might need explainability to determine whether an AI's decision was actually just, or to ensure that in.
So another like really cool feature is this thing, which is your ability to go in and jump into the conversation. So right now I have, let's see if this works. But I mean, yeah, you can do it. You can ask a specific question for voice. Okay, let's ask it. So,
oh, our listeners got something to share. Let's hear it.
Hey, can you hear me? Probably not. My microphone is not working. Probably. I'm not sure. But basically, yeah, this is a very good feature where you can go in and ask a question. Like, so you can actually say, hey, you talked about this. Can you give me an example? Right? Like, I wonder if.
All right. So You know how it is these days, right? You open up your phone and suddenly it's like AI ethics everywhere.
Yeah, totally.
News think pieces, policy reports, you name it. And like it feels almost impossible to keep up sometimes.
Definitely, it really can.
So, we hear you. And that's exactly why we're doing this deep dive today, right? We want to cut through all that noise,
Okay, yeah, I don't know why
right?
it's
So,
not working,
you know
but anyway, so it's supposed to work. Like basically, uh,
how it is these days, right? Oh, our listeners got something to share. Let's hear it.
yeah, I think there's some technical wrong, but you can ask a question. Like you can say, "Hey, give me an example from the healthcare domain," or something like that. Like, and it really works really well. So that's a really really cool feature that I use. Like if there's something that I specifically want to know or ask me to explain, and this is something that I use for like very complex papers as well. Uh, so this is really good. Like so, this is a tool that this is one use case, right? Like where I'm using it to read a lot of research papers and like explain it to me and things like that. But again, like you should try it to know. Another area where this is like very, very helpful is in summarizing these sorts of very, very long pieces. So, again, I haven't tried this, but I wanted to try it. So let's say, Biden administration or whatever Trump administration comes up with something about AI policy or like something like that. Like so, Biden had this AI Bill of Rights, which was very well thought through. Like we also talked about briefly in the course. So AI Bill of Rights. Um, so this is a blueprint for AI Bill of Rights. So this is like a super huge document. So let's see. This is I think yeah, I think probably. I mean, this is not just the document, but there's actually a bigger document which is much bigger. Actually, let me see where that is. So if there is what is the Bill of Rights? Uh, yeah, so some of these are really good. Like so, yeah, actually, this is like super detailed, but I thought there was like a PDF. Like, let me go back and uh, PDF, right? Like, so I get the PDF. Let's see. Blueprint for AI Bill of Rights, right? Like, so this is like a 73-page document, right? This is not a technical document, but this is also a very good example. So I go here, create new, and then go to website and paste this, right? So this is another way of doing it. So you can do the same where you actually uh, can get a quick sense of this. So this is another thing that I am doing these days, and because for an audio, like you can really do other things. Like for reading, it might take me like 20 minutes to read whatever 2,000 words. I mean, this is a 73-page thing. It'll take a longer time. But for an audio, if it generates a 15-minute audio and I listen to it in 2x, then I'm getting a sense of it and whether I want to focus on any of these, and I can use the mind map or any of these features. Another thing is this sort of study guide feature. This is very, very helpful in creating notes. Like, so if you have lecture notes or a textbook and you want to get this sort of study guide, like, so this is really good. Like, it tests your ability. Like, so for this, I mean, this is useless, but for let's say an article about our a course or any other thing that you're learning, you can get this sort of quiz and then answers. So this is very, very, very helpful for like as a study guide. So this is another feature. There's a briefing doc which also gives you like a summary. There's a timeline. Man, yeah, these are really good. Like when I haven't even tried some of these FAQ. Let's check how this is. So this is a blueprint. A blueprint is just probably a quick summary, very structured summary. That's quite good. Let's see timeline if there's anything. So the timeline is ongoing, and then okay, there's some timeline. I mean, this is usually about um, different mentions of timings there, and yeah, so this is timeline, cast of character. So on not all of these are applicable to all of them, but that's very, very helpful. Uh, I wanted to show you one other thing. Yeah, I mean, it's also not for just for PDFs, but there are also these sorts of documents where, for instance, I had a document here. Yeah, this is a huge blog post, right? Okay, probably not very. Actually, yeah, this is gated, but supposed to be like a very huge blog post. But like for instance, if you go here, there might be others which are longer, uh, which are something like this, right? Like so, this is super huge. So again, you can go here quickly, uh, get a sense, like say, okay, upload website link. I mean, yeah, you can also do this for YouTube. Like YouTube is by Google, so they've already indexed everything. So here, they have this sort of summary, and like you can give ask for structure of how that thing is set up, and a bunch of things like that. So yeah, this is NotebookLM. A super, super, super useful tool for learning, especially for information professionals that have a lot of things to read or think about or consume and like get quick understanding. So it makes you really productive. So yeah, we should start using it.